Arthur? Arthur Dimmesdale? Who speaks? Hester Prynne. Is it thou? Art thou in life?
Even so, what life has been mine these past 7 years? And thou, Arthur Dimmesdale, dost thou yet live?
Hast thou found peace?
Hast thou?
None. Nothing but despair. What else could I look for, being what I am and leading such a life as mine? Were I an atheist, a man devoid of conscience, erect with coarse and brutal instincts, I might have found peace long ere now. Nay, I never should have lost it, but as matters stand in my soul, whatever of good capacity there originally was made, all of God's gifts were the choicest, have become the ministers of spiritual torment. Hester, I am most miserable.
The people reverence thee, and surely thou workest good among them. Does this bring thee no comfort?
More misery, Hester, only the more misery. As concerns the good which I may appear to do, I have no faith in it. It must needs be a delusion. What can a ruined soul like mine affect towards the redemption of other souls, or a polluted soul towards their purification? And as for the people's reverence, would that it were turned to scorn and hatred. Canst thou deem it, Hester, a consolation that I must stand up in my pulpit and meet so many eyes turned upward to my face, as if the light of heaven were beaming from it? Thou must see my flock hungry for the truth, and listening to my words as if the tongue of Pentecost were speaking, and then look inward and discern the black reality of what they idolize. I have laughed in bitterness and agony of heart at the contrast between what I seem and what I am, and Satan laughs at it.
You wrong yourself in this. You have deeply and sorely repented. Your sin is left behind you in the days long past. Your present life is no less holy in very truth than it seems in people's eyes. Is there no reality in the penitence thus sealed and witnessed by good works? And wherefore? Should it not bring you peace?
Oh, Hester, no. There is no substance in it. It is cold and dead and can do nothing for me. Of penance I have had enough. Of penitence there has been none. Else I should long ago have thrown off these garments of mock holiness and have shown myself to mankind, as they will see at the judgment seat. Happy are you, Hester, that wear the scarlet letter openly upon your bosom. Mine burns in secret. Thou little knowest what a relief it is, after the torment of 7 years' cheat, to look into an eye that recognizes me for what I am. Had I one friend, or were it my worst enemy, to whom, when sickened with the praises of all other men, I could daily betake myself, and be known as the vilest of all sinners, methinks my soul might keep itself alive thereby. Even thus much of truth would save me, but now it is all falsehood, all emptiness, all death.
Such a friend as thou hast even now wished for, with whom to share the burden of thy crime? Thou hast in me, partner of it, and thou hast such an enemy also, and dwellest with him under the same roof.
Ha, what sayest thou, an enemy, and under mine own roof? And what mean thou?
Oh, Arthur, forgive me. In all things else I have striven to be true. Truth was the one virtue which I might have held fast, and did hold fast through all extremity, save when thy good, thy life, thy fame were put in question. Then I consented to a deception. But a lie is never good, even though death threatened on the other side. Dost thou not see what I would say? That old man, the physician, he whom they call Roger Chillingworth, he was my husband.
I might have known it. I did know it. Was not the secret told me in the natural recoil of my heart, at the first sight of him, and as often as I have seen him? Why did I not understand? O Hester Prynne, thou art little knowest all the horror of this thing, and the shame, the indelicacy, the horrible ugliness of this exposure of a sick and guilty heart to the very eye that would gloat over it. Woman, thou art accountable for all this. I cannot forgive thee.
Please forgive me. Oh, let God punish. Oh, Arthur, thou shalt forgive. Thou shalt forgive. Oh, Arthur, thou shalt forgive.
I do forgive you, Hester. I freely forgive you now. May God forgive us both. We are not, Hester, the worst sinners in the world. There's one worse than even the polluted priest. The old man's revenge has been blacker than my sin. He has violated in cold blood the sanctity of a human heart. Thou and I. Hester never did so.
Never, never. What we did had a consecration of its own. Hast thou forgotten it?
Hush, Hester. No, I have not forgotten. Hester, here is a new horror. Roger Chillingworth knows your purpose to reveal his true character. Will he continue thus to keep our secret? What will now be the course of his revenge?
There's a strange secrecy in his nature, and it has grown upon him by the hidden practices of his revenge. I deem it not likely he will betray the secret. He will doubtless seek other means of satiating his dark passions.
How am I to live longer breathing the same air with this deadly enemy? Think for me, Hester. Thou art strong. Resolve for me.
Thou must dwell no longer with this evil man. Thou heart must no longer be under his eye.
It were far worse than death, but how to avoid it? What choice remains to me? Shall I lie down again on these withered leaves where I cast myself when thou didst tell me what he was? Must I sink down there and die at once?
Alas, what a ruin has befallen thee! Wilt thou die for very weakness? There is no other cause.
The judgment of God is on me. It is too mighty for me to struggle with.
Heaven would show mercy. Hast thou but the strength to take advantage of it?
Be thou strong for me. Advise me what to do.
Is the world then so narrow? Doth the universe lie within the compass of yonder town, which only a little time ago was but a leaf-strewn desert, as lonely as this around us? Whither leads yonder forest track? Backward to the settlement, thou sayest? Yes, but onward too. Deeper it goes, and deeper into the wilderness, less plainly to be seen at every step, until some few miles hence the yellow leaves will show no vestige of the white man's tread. There thou art free! So brief a journey would bring there from a world where thou hast been most wretched, to one where thou mayest still be happy. Is there not shade enough in this boundless forest to hide thy heart from the gaze of Roger Chillingworth?
Yes, Hester, but only under the fallen leaves.
Then there is the broad pathway of the sea. It brought thee hither. If thou so choose, it bear thee back again. In our native land, whether in some remote rural village, or in vast London, or surely in Germany, in France, or in pleasant Italy, thou wouldst be beyond his power and knowledge. And what hast thou to do with all these iron men and their opinions? They have kept thy better part in bondage too long already.
It cannot be. I am powerless to go, wretched and sinful as I am. I have had no other thought than to drag on my earthly existence in the sphere where Providence hath placed me. Lost as my own soul is, I would still do what I may for other human souls. I dare not quit my post, though an unfaithful sentinel, whose sure reward is death and dishonor, when his dreary watch shall come to an end.
Thou art crushed under the 7 years' weight of misery, but thou shalt leave it all behind thee. It shall not cumber thy steps, and thou treadest along the forest path. Neither shalt thou freight the ship with it, if thou prefer to cross the sea. Leave this wreck and ruin here where it hath happened. Meddle no more with it. Begin all anew. Hast thou exhausted possibility in the failure of this one trial? Not so. The future is yet full of trial and success. There is happiness to be enjoyed. There is good to be done. Exchange this false life of thine for a true one. Be, if thy spirit summon thee to such a mission, the teacher and apostle of the red men, or, as is more thy nature, be a scholar and a sage among the wisest and most renowned of the cultivated world. Preach, write, act, do anything save lie down and die. Give up this name of Arthur Dimmesdale and make thyself another, a high one, such as thou canst wear without fear of shame. Why shouldst thou tarry so much as one other day in the torments that have so gnawed into thy life, that have made thee feeble to will and to do, that will leave thee powerless even to repent? Up, up and away!
Oh, Hester, thou tellest of running a race to a man whose knees are tottering beneath him. I must die here. There is not the strength or courage left to me to venture into the wide, strange, difficult world. Alone, alone, Hester.
Thou shalt not go alone.